Yo, what up, y'all? Today we jumping into some first Descendant. In this one, we're gonna go over the super tanky Ajax, ultimate Ajax build. You're gonna have over 130k base defense, and then the way that we're gonna shoot over 175k defense, which is insane. We're gonna be mixing Iron Will with overwhelming health. Now I'm gonna go over two different builds for you guys, which is gonna be the mob build, you know, what you're gonna use to run through the world and just absolutely obliterate everything. Then we're going to go through the boss build, what you're going to specifically use for fighting bosses. Now, I'm going to try to talk as fast as I can. It's a lot of information to cover, so if I do leave anything out, make sure you just ask in the comments, then we'll go over the information. So here's what the details are looking like. Base stat, again, we're over 130k. Max HP is decent, about 13k. The thing about the max HP, to be honest, you really don't need that much HP on this build, only because it doesn't really matter how much HP bar you have. You're gonna have so much defense that they're just never ever gonna be able to kill you. Now you can do this build on both Ajax and Ultimate Ajax. Now I do a lot of people always ask me what's the difference between getting the Ultimate or just having the regular version. So the difference is gonna be the base stats for them. So we're gonna compare the two here. As you can see, Ultimate Ajax just has a little bit more base defense. So if you're doing this on Ajax, you may have a little bit less defense, but if you want to go out and grind that ultimate Ajax, you know, you're just going to have a little bit more base defense, which is just going to help for your survivability. And then also too, with Ajax, all of his defense is going to ultimately make his skill power stronger. So the more defense you have, the more skill power you're going to have. And then mixing that in with non-attribute specialists, you know, battle master or focus on battle, it's just going to take you over the top. Now we're going to go over the modules here. Now I've already crystallized every single module. Now the reason why I did this is because at some point you might want to do something different, you know, so instead of overwhelming HP, you might want to use time distribution or stem accelerant, or even if you're going against some super tanky bosses in the world, like if you're doing void reactors, you know, like if you're doing really probably only void reactors is the only thing, you know, those bosses get kind of tanky. You know, you can take out the overwhelming HP, maybe go like cold antibody, electric antibody. You can even go with one of the solutions or the conductor just for complete immunity to maybe fire, ice, which we're going to get into that a little bit more once we go into the boss build. But yeah, ultimately this is going to be the setup. If you go into the modules and the access info, you can go through the modules and see exactly where to get each one. Now I'm going to show you guys how you're going to get over 175. So 137, what the Iron Will does, it gives you that extra 128% defense when you have no shield. With the overwhelming health, you only have one shield. So as soon as your shield breaks, as you can see, 175k defense. What's even crazier is that level 1, once you crystallize Ultimate Ajax at level 1, you're going to start with about 98 to 100k defense, so you're definitely going to be extremely tanky. So it's definitely a super strong build. And then again, with the non-attribute, you know, that's just going to take your skill power over the top. Now as far as the reactor, I personally am looking for the Secret Guardian or the Clairvoyance. So right now I'm farming one of those two, but until you get one of those, you can use a different ultimate, you know, Greg's Fate, Sigpors. You can use, you know, the little electric submachine gun, you know, so there's a couple different things that you could do. But what you want to do is make sure once you have your mechanics reactor on, what you want to do is hit square or whatever the button is, go to info, and you want to equip whatever the optimization is for it. So in this case, it's Greg's Reverse Fate. I didn't know that for a while, so I wasn't even getting the max power out of it because I didn't have it mounted to the correct gun. So you want to make sure you go over the reactor, hit go to info, and then switch it to the weapon that you need mounted. As far as the components, I just go with all defense. So you're going to be looking for anything that gives you that 4683 defense. If you can find something that gives you double defense, so 4683, and then like this one, you have another 3301 defense, you're just gonna get more and more tankier, you know. So as you can see, I don't even have double defense on everything. This build probably could have more defense than this. Now what you could do, because you know, obviously as you start killing bosses, you're gonna get those set pieces. Don't get me wrong, the set pieces are nice, you know. I have full sets of ultimately everything at this point, but not everything has the 4683 defense. And even if you look, if you rock a 2 set of the Annihilation, you're looking at skill duration. You rock a 2 set, you're looking at HP recovery there, so kind of play with it a little bit. But ultimately my build is just all defense. I don't really even need the 2 set, to be honest. I mean, especially for like Annihilation, if you can get a lot of defense on everything and maybe get the 4 set of that, you're going to get more firearm attack as you get lower HP, so that might be a plus. But like I said, the things that I'm shooting for is either going to be the Secret Guardian, or I'm looking for that Clairvoyance beam rifle. I only got a couple pieces left on each, so you can kind of pick and choose like what item you want to use in there. Now I am going to go over some tips on how to get Ultimate Ajax, so make sure you guys hit that like button, hit the sub button on this video. I'm going to have more tips and tricks on how to farm things a lot easier, how to grind money, how to grind Kuiper, how to grind ultimately everything. So you'll definitely be seeing some more first Descendant videos out of me. Now going into the weapons, I'm not going to touch so much on like the weapons and the modules you want to use for those, because I'm actually going to make a different video for that. But you definitely want to be rocking that tamer. And then what I would suggest is that you get multiple tamers or multiple of the weapon that you're rocking, you know what I mean? So you can have a fire one, electric, toxic. So instead of you having to sit there and re-roll them every single time, waste all your mats, you can actually just equip a whole nother tamer or a whole nother sig pores, and you're literally chilling. Now another thing I want to go over too, while you guys are grinding, you want to be using different guns and getting them to proficiency 40, because in order for you to use a Secret Guardian or research a Clairvoyance or something like that, you're actually going to have to be mastery rank 15. Easiest way to do that is to upgrade weapons and upgrade different Descendants. Now what I'm going to do, we're going to go into the lab here, and I'm going to show you guys the different things that you can equip on this build to make it stronger, or pretty much make it the way how you want to make it. Because at the end of the day, 130k defense is a lot. You might not even need that much defense, you know what I mean? So you can even take out the overwhelming HP, you can add in some other things, but ultimately this is what it's going to look like. Every 4th ability is going to get empowered, and when that ability gets empowered, you can do it again. So you'll do the wall, you'll do the shield, you'll run up, you'll do your dimension attack, and then you'll do your tech attack, and then that'll reset the cooldown of the tech attack, and then you can do it again. So that's pretty much the combo there. Now like I was saying, you could change it up a little bit. You could use time distribution. This is going to give you more skill cooldown, so if you rather have the skills be a little bit less damage, but you could do them over and over and over again, you can kind of do it like that. And as you can see there, boom, you do the combo. By the time the combo's over, you're already ready for another dimension attack, and that pretty much wipes out level 100 enemies. So just imagine fighting regular enemies on the map, or even on normal, because there's still stuff that you have to grind on normal. You're just going to be absolutely ripping through them. So you could even take out time distribution. You could throw on focus on tech, which is going to be the jump, and then I'll kind of show you the damage for that. So you'll run up, do your kit. Now again, you would want to make sure like these are the 4th abilities that you're using, so that way you could do the jump 2 times without running out of mana. But 9 times out of 10, whenever you're like running through, you're doing infiltrations, you're doing defense missions, you don't always need the hypercube in the wall, so you'll just have to kind of time it like that. The next one we'll try is focus on dimension. Remember, the dimension attack is the pushback, the triangle. So we'll do that. We'll do a double jump. Boom. And as you can see, everything is pretty much one shot. Now the last thing you can do, which is actually one of my favorite things to do, you can take off both of those and you can throw on the maximize power. This is going to give you another 47% skill power. However, it's going to, at the cost of your cooldowns. So you're not going to be able to do the cooldowns as fast. However, you're going to just absolutely annihilate the enemies. You walk up, do your ability. As you can see, the cooldown is a whole lot slower, but on that 3rd ability, literally melted. So maximize power is good, focus on dimensions good. It all comes down to what you kind of want to do, and then what you have on your reactor. Because let's say on your reactor you have extra dimension power, then you might want to go focus on dimension. Or if you have extra tech, focus on tech, so on and so forth. All right, so now over to the boss build. So we're going to be doing body enhancement, which is super duper strong. This is going to give you defense and shield proportionally to your HP. So the differences between the boss and the mob build, we're going to be doing a lot more non-attributes. We're going to focus on our skills, but on the boss, we're actually going to focus more on our health. We're going to focus more on our resistance, so that way you can survive the boss, yet still be able to do good damage. Because ultimately, you just want to be trying to stand there for as long as you can shooting. You know, when people go down, you still want to be tanky enough to pick them up. Now, this is another good one too that we're going to be using: improved drive shaft for bosses. Every time you roll, you have a 15% chance of getting 26% firearm attack, which is super nice. You know, obviously you're going to be rolling a lot to dodge abilities. So this slot I actually leave open. So like I was saying, you're going to want more resistance based on the boss that you're fighting. So, you know, if you're fighting the Frostwalker, you might want to get immune to frostbite and then get chill resistance. Now, each thing that you're going to use, whether it's chill antibody, toxic antibody, fire antibody, so on and so forth, it's only going to give you about, I would say, 3,800 resistance. So what I would suggest is that whenever you're target farming a boss, you want to also try to go for the components that have that resistance as well. So remember when I went to my storage, I had a whole bunch of different components. It's because they have different resistances on them. You know, for each boss, you really only need about, what, 7,500 of that resistance, and you can get 3,800 of it just off your Descendant modules. So that means you just need to rock one component basically that has that resistance as well. And then, you know, you won't get one-shotted by a toxic ability. You won't get one-shotted by, you know, Frostwalker's stupid little ice shards that he throws, or, you know, Pyromaniac, so on and so forth. So we'll leave that one slot open, and you basically want to throw your resistance into that slot. So then that way, each time that you fight every boss, you're ultimately immune to them. And then, like I was saying with the electric conductor, well, the insulated conductor or the antifreeze solution, if you want to be completely immune, you know, to being electrocuted, completely immune to being burnt, completely immune to being frostbitten, then that's what you could do, is you could just throw those on. Now, farming Ultimate Ajax, it was a pain. I did not buy the character. I 100% farmed him. He's pretty annoying. So for the first item, you simply can just do the Magistars lab, and then you could just do the Link boss. That's easy. Now the problem is these items will have a 6% chance to drop. You know, so you probably have to kill the boss and do the infiltrations a whole bunch of times. I would suggest getting the stabilizers if you can. Now for the second one, the intercept battle for this is hard Frostwalker. Now if you've made the Frostwalker, you know he's pretty annoying. So instead of doing that, what I would suggest is doing the strategic outpost, getting these amorphous patterns, and then going to do the void reactor. Now the thing about these patterns is, you know, of course you can only do this mission every 5 minutes. So, you know, it gets pretty annoying if the material doesn't drop. And then on top of that, you need to have void shards in order to open up the actual void fusion reactor. So on the map, if you look around, especially for non-attribute, which is Ajax, each of his non-attribute things that he fights, you only get 3 shards per thing, which I think is insane. You know, on toxic, on chill, on electrocution, you know, you can get 17, you can get 20 organic, you can get 17 monomer, you can get so many. But specifically on non-attribute, you can only get 3 per. So this is where the other Descendants come into play. There's 3 Descendants that I would highly recommend that you go out and get. 2 of them you for sure need. The first one that we're going to get, of course, is Bunny. That's super duper easy. So what you'll ultimately do is you'll grab Bunny, and then you'll do the electric missions with her, so you can get more monomer shards and more inorganic shards. And then you just come back on Ajax, and then you go grind the boss on Ajax. So as you can see, you know, I'm looking around the map, you get nothing, literally nothing on the non-attributes, which I feel like they need to change. But if you look at electric, you know, you're looking at a 17 and 6. Okay, so instead of grinding the 3 for a super long time, which is what I was doing in the beginning, we're just going to jump on Bunny. We're going to go over here to the Fallen Ark at the fortress, and we're going to go into this cave. in this cave, we're just going to grind the crap out of these monsters. Now, typically when you come to this cave, there's always a whole bunch of bunnies or Sharons over here, electric people. And you know, you can clear this mission out rather fast, maybe 2 or 3 minutes. And I don't have any energy reactor on Bunny. This is what I use in order to stand there and farm. You don't really need increased defense. All you need is electric, maximum range, and maximum duration. So once you complete the mission, as you can see, it's 17 monomer, 6 organic. Now, as far as these Vulgus strategic posts, you know, if you've done enough of these, you know that it's not 100% guarantee that you get the pattern. But down at the bottom there, as you can see, if it's a successful infiltration, you actually have a higher percentage. So this is where Sharon comes into play. And this is what I'm going to use on her. Just skill extension, skill duration. That's all you need. You just want to be invisible enough to shut down all 3 reactors in order to increase your chances of getting that amorphous material. All right, so this is what it's going to look like as soon as it starts. You'll just shut down all 3 of them, and then you'll get a successful infiltration every time, and then you'll have a way better chance of getting that material. Now, the only thing is, again, I don't have any energy activators on these characters, the ones I don't really use, so the survivability may be a little bit sus, which is okay. You know, it doesn't matter. As long as you guys complete that infiltration, you guys kill the boss, you're literally chilling. And 90% of the time, people that see a Sharon over there, they're gonna let you shut them down, shut down the posts. But you know, sometimes they don't know, they just jump in there guns blazing. So you might want to go into the text chat, tell them, and then boom. Now the third person that you want to get, which is optional, this is gonna be Valby. And this is what you need on her: just skill extension. You want skill duration, non-attribute specialist, and cooldown. Now when I was getting my ultimate Ajax a couple weeks ago, I didn't really know about this, so I was kind of grinding my gold a different way. But trust me, this is gonna be the easy way. So all you do is you head over here, and as you can see, there's always gonna be people here. Actually, it's RIP to anybody who needs this amorphous material, but ultimately what you'll do is you'll start this infiltration, and then you get the boss, you knock down one of his bars, and he just unlimitedly spawns enemies. You can grind maybe like 10 million gold an hour, maybe like 1 million Kuiper an hour easily doing this method. So again, I mean, I don't know if it's a glitch or if it's just cheese, you know. I did it for a little bit, but I didn't really need the gold at the point that I started doing this, so I'm just showing you guys. So yeah, if you feel like doing this is the easiest way to get gold. Again, hopefully this helps you guys out. Down in the comments, let me know if I missed anything or if you have any other questions. Thanks for stopping in. I'll see you on that next vid. Peace.